everybody. Good to see you here. My name is Dick Durbin, and I'm running to succeed Paul Simon, the best U.S. Senator in Illinois and around the country. It is my great honor to introduce to you the man who has served as the best partner to the best president, our vice president, and a man being re-elected as vice president, Al Gore.
Hello, Cairo. What a crowd. Thank you very much for being out here. You want to see the Al Gore version of the Macarena? You want to see it again? I want to thank Dick Durbin for introducing me, and I want to ask all of you to recognize with your votes what every single individual, especially on the Democratic side, but most all the Republicans, if they would admit it, knows in Washington and who've worked with him, and that is he is an absolutely outstanding public servant. He's got integrity, he's got energy, he's got commitment. With your votes, elect him the next senator from the state of Illinois, Dick Durbin. He is a great, great guy. I want to thank your distinguished Senator Paul Simon and his wife, Jean. Paul Simon serves this country with distinction and greatness, and we appreciate you, Paul Simon. I want to recognize the two members of Congress who are also on stage with us. First of all, an outstanding representative of the public interest, Congressman Glenn Peshard. Another outstanding congressman who serves you so well, his wife Georgia is here. Let's also re-elect Congressman Jerry Costello. And it's great to see former Congressman Ken Gray here. Great to see you. I want to thank Mayor James Wilson and his wife Karen for all the hospitality. Thank you very much, Mayor Wilson, and thanks for leading this great city. And to State Representatives David Phelps and Larry Woolard, and the President of the Laborers Union, Ed Smith, and to all of the other distinguished guests who are present here. Before I present the President of the United States, I would like to ask for just a few words from my wife, Tipper. Tipper, would you come up here?
Thank you. Hi, everybody. Hello. I just want to say briefly that it's great to be back on the road for America's families. Thank you all so much for being here, and I want to present to you the greatest First Lady we've ever had, Hillary Rodham Clinton.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We are so glad to be here with all of you. I think this is our 6th time to be here in Southern Illinois since my husband's been president, and we are awfully, awfully happy to see all of you here tonight. Thank you very much.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a big job ahead of us. And I said at the convention the other night that it's been a long time since we've had a president who cared enough about the problems facing average families to get out and really work on solving the real problems that face real people. I believe that it is correct that William Howard Taft and Theodore Roosevelt are the only presidents in history to come here to Cairo before President Bill Clinton. So I'd like to make a prediction here, and since I don't usually make predictions, I'd like you to kind of keep it just between you and me. Here it is. Come November the 5th, when the votes are counted, Cairo will lead the great state of Illinois in putting the Clinton-Gore team over the top. Do you remember what happened when the flood came in '93? Did James Lee Witt, working for Bill Clinton, do a good job for you? The Federal Disaster Agency used to be a disaster. Now it works well for people. It responds. Well, that's the same approach Bill Clinton has taken to every single part of this country. And under his leadership, we've gotten 10 million new jobs with higher than average wages. Inflation has gone down to a 30-year low. Crime rates have gone down. The deficits have gone down. Matter of fact, everything that should be down is down, and everything that should be up is up. We have in America not just better off, but better. We've got an election coming up to determine whether or not we're going to continue on the road to progress. I want to say here, and I would like to ask all of you, especially Democrats. I know we've got lots of folks who are Republicans and independents, but I want to especially ask the Democrats to join publicly with your applause in affirming what President Clinton and I believe and have said and will say again, and that is that the president's opponent, Senator Bob Dole, is someone we disagree with, but he is a good and decent man who has served this country honorably, demonstrated personal courage in coming back from injuries sustained in battle, and we must treat him with respect. He deserves respect, even though we disagree with his ideas. Now, there's no doubt that his ideas and his outlook are different. In the Republican convention, he stood up and spoke to the nation and said he offered himself as a bridge to the past. Well, Bill Clinton and I offer ourselves as a bridge to the future. They told you what their ideas were in that budget plan they tried to pass. It would have rolled back the progress and really hit the pocketbooks of middle-income working families. And they had a plan to change Medicare, make it wither on the vine, all kinds of things that shouldn't have been done. They tried to force the country to accept it by confronting the president with the prospect of shutting down the government. Well, I was there in the Oval Office when he called them in, and he said, if you want to cut off the guarantee of medical care to the poor, do these other things, you won't do it while I'm president, because I won't let you. Well, now they're trying to replace Bill Clinton, and we won't let them. They're trying to cut public education and put down teachers instead of lifting up students. That's why they want to replace Bill Clinton, but we won't let them. They want to let the lobbyists for the biggest polluters come in and rewrite the environmental laws. That's why they want to replace Bill Clinton, but we won't let them. They want to change Medicare so that it eventually is replaced by a more private system and it withers on the vine. That's why they want to replace Bill Clinton, but we won't let them. They want to change the focus back away from middle-income families and return to what's known as trickle-down economics. That's why they want to replace Bill Clinton, but we won't let them. We will not, we cannot, and we must not. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a time when we decide our own future. We have outstanding Democratic candidates for the Senate, for Congress, all the way up the ballot to the President of the United States. But you've got to get involved. You've got to decide that it really matters to you who wins. You've got to understand that your family's future is at stake. And so, in presenting the President, I want to leave you with one question. How would you like to feel on the morning of November the 6th after the election? And there are two choices. Here's the first choice. Are you listening? You could wake up tired because you stayed up waiting for the votes to be counted and you had to go to bed before you knew who won. All right, you could wake up the next morning with a headache and look out and see the cold sleet coming down. Getting up and rubbing the sleep out of your eyes, you could stub your toe on the chair, work your way to the front door and open it and see the newspaper laying there in a puddle of water. And when you pick it up and peel back that front page, it'd say, Dole wins. There's another option. You could wake up on the morning of November the 6th just feeling great. The sun shining through the window. Little birds chirping on the windowsill. Fresh cut flowers on the table by the bed. The aroma mingling with the scent of fresh brewed coffee wafting in from the kitchen. Your favorite tune on the radio, the Macarena. Tripping the light fantastic, you dance your way to the front door and fling it open with a flourish, and you pick up the newspaper, and it says, Clinton Gore re-elected! Ladies and gentlemen, President Bill Clinton!
This is your day.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. I want to thank the mayor and everybody who's worked so hard to make this day happen. I thank those who sang and performed before, especially the Egyptian High School Band. Let's give them a hand over there. The Jerry Ford Combo. I understand Helen Bishop made this wonderful long sign. Beautiful sign. Thank you very much. Folks, I love to come to Southern Illinois. When I was governor of my state, I chaired a study of the lower Mississippi Valley, and I used to come to Southern Illinois. And I know that Senator Paul Simon's home is not far from here. And, you know, he's retiring from the Senate, and I hope you'll elect Dick Durbin to take his place because we need him desperately there. But Paul Simon has served you and the United States with dignity and honor and distinction, and I want him to come up here and say just 2 minutes of thanks to you and make a few comments because he's retiring after a great career, and you need to express your appreciation to him. Senator Simon.
Thank you. I thank you. I've been in politics a long time, but I've never had the President of the United States introduce me to say a few words, I have to tell you. I am pleased to be here with Bill Clinton and Al Gore and Dick Durbin and Glenn Pritchard and Jerry Costello and all of my friends. But what is at stake here is our future. I see young people along the front row here, about 7 or 8 years old. When you think about what we're doing, don't just think about yourselves. Think about those young people and their future. I have, like Al Gore mentioned, all of us have respect for Bob Dole, but the candidate for president, the candidate for vice president, who will stand for the future of these young people and a better future for our country, those candidates are Bill Clinton and Al Gore, and we have to do the job that needs to be done. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Senator, and the Congressman Costello, Congressman Pritchard, all these legislative candidates and university officials and others who are up on the stage with me. Ladies and gentlemen, I am delighted to be back here. I love coming in on the bus, and I looked at the bean fields and the river bottoms, and when I came into town, I felt like I was home. And I saw the big welcome on the laborers building, and even had a billboard up there. I appreciated that. And then their leader was back here saying, you know, we're closer to Arkansas than Chicago. These people talk like you do. You don't have an accent here, Mr. President. You don't have an accent here. We have had a wonderful week. I started off on a train going from West Virginia to Kentucky, to Ohio, to Michigan, to Indiana, to the Democratic Convention in Chicago, to prove that we're on the right track to the 21st century, but also to see people like you who never see a president. The last time, and then we came back to our bus so we could come down here. I learned today that the last presidents who came to Cairo were Teddy Roosevelt in 1907, William Howard Taft in 1909. I don't know what the others were doing, but I'm glad to be back, and it's high time. My fellow Americans, last night I had a chance to talk at the Democratic Convention about what we were going to do in the next 4 years to build that bridge to the 21st century. And tonight I just want to say again to you, the choice here is about more than a choice between two candidates. It is a choice between the future and the past, a choice between a philosophy that we're all in this together. We have an obligation to help each other make the most of our own lives, and a theory that you're on your own, and we hope you do well. It's a choice between people who believe, as Al Gore and I do, that we have a responsibility to help you make this a strong community and help give your children the best lives. I was asking here, right just when I was standing here, the congressman said half of the police department in this town was funded by the crime bill. I fought hard for it. They fought against it. We were right. We have invested a lot of money in this area in job retraining. I think there ought to be more of it. They think there ought to be less of it. That's a clear signal. You cannot expect people to go through the changes we have had in the American economy unless we do more and more quickly to give people immediate access, no matter what their age, to whatever education and training they need to get a new job and a better job. It is critical to our future. I'm told you have the best Job Corps retraining center in the country right here. That's the kind of thing we need to do for everybody. And let me just say, you're going to have some races for the legislature here. I want to talk about how all of these races fit together. If we're going to build a bridge to the next century, we have to keep growing this economy till it reaches every Delta town and every inner city neighborhood in the United States. It's not enough to say there are 10 million more jobs. We want to know there's a job for everybody that lives in the Mississippi Delta who wants to go to work, and a good job. Last night I said to the American people, I say to you again here tonight, we changed the welfare laws, and we said we're going to have a new bargain with people who are poor and out of work and able-bodied with little children. We will guarantee health care, we will guarantee food, we will guarantee child care, but now the income has to come from effort. Well, that's fine. Now I say we have to go out and create the jobs. And I outlined a plan last night in Chicago to the American people to invest several $billion, all of it paid for in my balanced budget plan, in poor rural areas and small towns, in our inner cities, to create jobs, to give incentives to invest in those areas. The best untapped market for the United States today is those parts of the United States which haven't gotten investment, which haven't fully recovered, which need more jobs. That's what we need to do. And we have a strategy to do it. I want everybody walking across that bridge to the 21st century. I don't intend to see the lower Mississippi Valley left behind. I want your children to have the best education, your parents to have the best jobs, and your people to have the best future. That is my commitment to you. Let me just say a word about education. Al Gore and I, in the next 4 years, are committed to seeing that every classroom in America, in the remotest mountain village, in the poorest city neighborhood, up and down this Delta, every single classroom and library not only has the computers they need with the teachers trained to help use them, but is connected to an information superhighway that will give, for the first time in the history of this country, every child, rich or poor, immediate access to the highest quality information available on any subject to any child in any school in the United States or in the world. That is worth fighting for. We are committed to the right kind of tax cuts for working families. A tax cut in the form of a $500 credit for young children. A tax cut in the form of a $1,500 credit to make 2 years of education after high school as universal in 4 years as a high school education is today. We ought to make it possible for every family to go to a community college at least and have it paid for and not have to worry about it through tax cuts. We ought to give every family with a child in college or a parent in college a deduction for the cost of tuition up to $10,000 a year. We ought to educate America and do it now. So I say to you, if you want that kind of future, if you want the feeling you have tonight on this beautiful lawn of this magnificent old library to carry you through, if you want to feel on Election Day the way the Vice President says, and feel that way all through the next 4 years, you have to help me build that bridge to the 21st century. Will you do that? Will you help us for 68 days to talk to your friends and neighbors about going into the future instead of going back? Will you do that? God bless you. Stay with us, and we will make the kind of future you and your children deserve. Thank you. We're delighted to be here.